This presentation is for Panopto, which is a video platform for businesses and universities. Panopto at its core is lecture capture software for instructors that also provides student collaboration with integrated metadata and time-stamped note-taking capabilities. The tool allows students to watch lectures and take notes in progress, and then review those notes later while automatically scrubbing the video to the locations in the video where those notes were taken. Videos can also be searched for notes provided by the instructor or student. At Utah State University, Panopto is integrated into Canvas, should instructors choose to use it, as part of their classroom or online instruction. At its core, Panopto was designed to record lectures, but since its founding in 2007, has evolved into an online video solution to not only record lectures and business presentations, but broadcast and live stream events, manage video libraries, and provide video search. Panopto claims to have been adopted by over 500 universities, companies, and government organizations around the world. While you can request a free trial of Panopto, it's currently limited to use by enterprise clients only. However, Utah State University, both students and faculty have access to Panopto through Canvas. Students have access to view and take notes in Panopto recordings from Canvas, and instructors have access to create recording sessions for use in their classes. In this workshop, I'll primarily cover the student side of Panopto, so when the tool is available in your next class, you can take full advantage of all it has to offer. I will cover the instructor-facing side as well, so you can see what options the instructor has when creating recording sessions. If you are not currently or have never been enrolled in a course using Panopto, you can still follow along by accessing any of the videos at usu.hosted.panopto.com. If you have access to Panopto in one of your current courses, you can follow along there or at the previous website. No software is required, as Panopto is entirely web-based. In order to get started with Panopto from the student's perspective, navigate to usu.hosted.panopto.com. There is a chance, if you've logged into Panopto and Canvas and are in an active session, it may log you in automatically, but most likely you will be greeted with this login screen. On the right, select Sign In using USU credentials, and then click the Sign In button. If you are not logged into Canvas, you will see the Canvas login screen. Enter your A number and password, and click Log In. Authorize Panopto to have access to your Canvas data by clicking Log In again. If you wish, you can click Remember My Authorization for this service to avoid being asked this in the future. Now you'll be presented with the Panopto home screen. If one of your courses is using Panopto in Canvas, you'll see a very similar screen when you navigate to the Panopto page in Canvas, as shown here. As you can see, this screen looks very much like this screen here after you log in. From this screen, there are some very important things to take note of. Typically, recording sessions that instructors make in Panopto are private, in the sense that they are only displayed to students enrolled in the course that the video is assigned to. On the left side of the screen, you will see a list of folders, each folder corresponding to courses you are or have been enrolled in at USU. If any of those courses have Panopto recordings associated with them, you will see a numerical value next to the folder indicating the number of recordings in that course. In the center of the screen, you will see all recordings that are located within the folder you have selected. By default, Panopto loads all sessions when you load the page, or in other words, all sessions you have access to. If you've never used Panopto in a course before, you may wonder why there are some recordings here. That is because some instructors have made recordings public, either intentionally or by accident. In your classes, your instructor will most likely provide links to the videos you need to watch, but you can find them yourself by navigating Panopto. For example, my instructor provided weekly recordings in my ITLS 6310 course. If I click on the ITLS 6310 folder, then that list in the center will only display the videos in that course. I can then click on the video I wish to view. Doing so will bring up the Panopto video screen, where I can begin watching video, taking notes, and collaborating with other students. So now that you're looking at a video, let's become a little more familiar with Panopto video screen. There are a few primary areas that may be of interest to you as a student. Don't pay any attention to this video itself or the content in it. It's just for display purposes only. The layout of the Panopto video screen is generally the same for most videos you watch, but it can change slightly depending on how the recording was created. On the left side of the screen, if the instructor included a video source, you'll always see that at the top left corner of the screen. Generally, this is a webcam of some sort that is recording the lecturer talking. On occasion, if additional equipment was used, this could be an external camera recording the classroom or something like that. In the center of the screen is where you will see other input sources. Generally, these are made up of screen captures or PowerPoint or Keynote presentations. You can control what is displayed here if there are multiple sources of video. Below that content area are slides if the lecturer chose to include them. If there were no slides included, the content area would simply be larger. On the left side of the screen below the lecturer is where the magic really happens. By default, there are 4 tabs, with the Content tab being selected. The Content tab gives you a timeline of the lecture and when slides change and other metadata that can be provided by the lecturer. This data is pulled in automatically from slides as they changed, but if no slides are included in the presentation, the lecturer can choose to manually add contents when he talks about them. Clicking on the Notes tab will bring up a box where you can take notes while watching, and later, if you click on a note, the video will scrub to that point. By default, you can only see your notes or notes others have made public. There is an option, though, to make notes for a group of individuals in what is called a channel. So here, if I was watching the video, I'll click play, and as you can see, this video is playing right here. The time's going. Now if I were to add a note here and just say this is interesting and click enter, it timestamps it on when I actually started taking the note, not when I finished taking that note. So now if I pause this video, or if I'm somewhere else in the video, if I were to click on this note, it would take me right back to that location in the video timeline. If I wanted to collaborate with students, I could click join a channel, and I could name the channel. Let's call it Group A and hit enter. Now I'm in a channel of notes just for Group A. If I had other students who were taking notes with me in Group A, anything we typed here would appear to all of us. So here is another note. So now I have a note at 11 seconds in the video, and similar to the notes that only I see, I could click on it and go right back there. I can toggle between these notes using this drop-down menu. So my notes will show any groups I'm in and my personal notes, whereas if I go to my Group A channel, it's just going to show the notes that I've taken in Group A and any notes that anyone else in Group A has taken with me. This is a great tool for group assignments. Bookmarks are very similar to notes, but they are designed to be much shorter form in comparison to notes. They also have a special feature. While notes are only seen while watching a video, bookmarks are actually logged outside the Panopto video screen. Consider a class where your instructor has provided many videos. While watching one of those videos, your instructor indicates that something will be included on the next test. You can bookmark that spot in the video, and then from the Panopto home screen, you can see that bookmark and jump straight back into that video to the spot he or she said that, rather than going through all the videos and trying to find your notes. As you can see, I've included a bookmark here called Important Spot at 16 seconds in the video. If I go back up here to my Panopto home screen and click Bookmarked, it will load all my bookmarks, and as you can see, it has the bookmark title I gave it, and if I were to click on that, it would take me straight back in here to this spot in the video. Also on the left, you will see comments. Comments again are similar to notes, but they are not time-stamped in sync with the video, and are just for commenting directly to the instructor or others in class. Also note, if an instructor is going to record live in class, all of these features are available while the instructor is doing the recording. So as a student, you can take notes in Panopto live in class as the recording is happening, and then later you can review those notes from home or while studying for a test. An additional feature with Panopto is with the use of contents, notes, bookmarks, and Panopto allows us to search any of these items using this box directly below the camera. If I start typing in a topic, it will do a search and it will show me where that topic comes up and will indicate what item it's under. So this found the word background, which then puts me right here in the video. If I go back to contents, I know that background is part of the contents. I typed in the word another in my note, here is another note, and I can tell over here it was found it in the notes area. Bookmarks, I called my bookmark important spot. So if I search for important, it will find it and indicate it's in the bookmarks area. Comments, however, cannot be searched. I do have a comment that's called comments, but when I do a search for comments, it doesn't find anything. So a key approach to using Panopto as a student would be to take good thorough notes based on topic and bookmark things based on your own naming convention, and then you can easily search through these items when watching a video to find things quickly. After you have several videos where you've taken notes, bookmarks, you can come here to your main Panopto screen, and when you're trying to study for a test, if you've taken good notes, now from this screen I can type in the word another, much like I did in the video, and it'll show me all of the videos where this search term appears, either in the contents area, notes, or bookmarks. So a key point of Panopto is putting in good data yourself as far as topics and guidelines, and then later when you're studying, you can easily search for those from this main screen and find all the videos you have access to that have those topics in them. From the instructor's perspective, Panopto is an entirely different tool. In order to provide the most benefit for the students, creating Panopto recording sessions are a two-step process. Step 1 is creating the actual recording, and Step 2 is adding the metadata to these recordings that will make them beneficial learning aids to students. As we covered in the previous section, students have the ability to view, add to, and search through this metadata that exists in the form of content, notes, and bookmarks. Instructors have the ability to make that metadata even richer if they choose to do so. For an instructor, to create a Panopto recording session, they first have to activate Panopto on their course. They do this by going to their course settings, editing the navigation, finding Panopto at the bottom, and then dragging it up to where they want it displayed within the course navigation. I'm going to drag it up below the Announcements tab. As you can see, underneath Announcements, there is nothing. But once I click Save, Panopto will be added to the course. Once it is active, a Panopto link will be displayed, giving students easy access to Panopto. After activating Panopto, instructors then launch Panopto Recorder from Canvas, select their desired inputs, and record away. The recording session will immediately be available for viewing for students who are enrolled in that class. Panopto is extremely flexible as far as recordings go. Instructors can choose to record from one or more video sources, along with screen capture and/or PowerPoint slides, from one or more computers all at the same time. They can even broadcast this live as they are recording, or record and publish at separate times. No matter which method they choose, Panopto handles the difficult part of merging all of this audio, video, and data into a single recording session for students to view. Shown here is the Panopto recording screen. This is where instructors can set up their recording. Clicking the large arrow will show their classes and any sessions in progress that they can add to. On the left, an instructor can add additional sources which will appear as tabs above the preview pane. When broadcasting live, they can even answer questions from viewers as the broadcast happens. The Recording Status tab shows any recordings saved to the computer that have not yet been uploaded to the Panopto server. Recordings can be done offline and uploaded later, but are always saved locally first, even if they have an internet connection. Once a recording is started, it can be paused for a moment and resumed, or stopped altogether. There are additional settings in the Setting tab that control when videos are uploaded, how questions are handled, and some recording settings. Once the recording is complete, the instructor can leave it at that, or if they wish, they can take time to do some post-production work to clean up the recording and add essential metadata to the video to help make the video a valuable study aid for students. To edit a recording, they find the recording in their list of available sessions, hover over it, and then click Edit. The screen that loads looks very much like the Panopto viewing screen, except there are some obvious extra buttons for editing most of what is seen by students. The top left pane will show any video sources that were recorded. Multiple sources will be indicated by tabs. The content area in the middle will show screen captures and presentation sources, also indicated by tabs. On the left is where instructors will enter all searchable metadata for students. First, let's look at the tabs. The Events tab is much like the Content tab from the student's perspective. This is where instructors can label parts of their video for students to easily skip through the video to parts based on the event name. Text from PowerPoint slides are automatically entered here. Clicking Add New Event will allow the instructor to add a new event manually. First, click Add New Event, then click on the timeline where you want the event to be annotated. Then provide a title, additional data, and an optional URL to be displayed to the viewer. The student can then toggle between the URL pane and other sources. Click Save and this event will be added to the timeline. You can also choose to delete custom events or the events Panopto added by default. Hover over one of the events and click Edit or Delete. The Streams tab simply shows you which events are tied to which video sources. So if you had multiple computers recording multiple slide presentations, or smartboards or other equipment, you could see which events are tied to which items. The Slides tab will isolate just the presentation slides and any events in those slides. The Edit tab is where you can edit the overall length of individual video sources, and it will show any edits you make from the timeline, where you can splice out parts of the video you may not want to use. Captions is where you can add caption text for the hearing impaired students, or just so the content is better searchable. Captions can also be uploaded from a text document via another screen. Instructors can also merge multiple recording sessions together, or add non-recorded PowerPoint presentations via the Add Content button. I won't go into full detail of all these options, but it's good to know from an instructional perspective what is possible. Sometimes it might be difficult for the instructor to record everything live, so they could easily record their voice in class but add a PowerPoint slides later, or update their presentation after the fact. Once they are done making changes, they simply click Save at the top, and the recording is immediately updated for student viewing. There are additional settings available for instructors as well from the settings screen for each video. Hover over one of the videos and click Settings. Here, they can rename the session or publish the video to a different source, edit viewing permissions, download the video to be shared locally, publish it to iTunes or RSS for subscription purposes, add physical documents for viewers to download, upload captions from a document, and other technical features. However, as an instructor, the key takeaway to make Panopto the most useful for students is to provide an in-depth and keyword-rich metadata for students to make the videos valuable learning aids. Instructors can also view video statistics, which will display aggregate data about viewing, as well as who viewed the videos and how many times. Videos can be reused over and over, so it would benefit instructors to take time to make very rich informational videos that they can then reuse from term to term. Instructors even have the ability to set up a recording session so they don't have to set up a classroom recording every week, but rather schedule the same time every week and the recordings will happen automatically. So where is it that Panopto really has a benefit for distance education? Well, first of all, Panopto facilitates student, teacher, and peer interaction. Through live broadcasts or pre-recorded lectures, Panopto allows for both synchronous and asynchronous interaction between students and instructors, or students and other students. It's really an all-encompassing tool. Students can ask questions to instructors via live questions as the broadcast is happening and get immediate feedback. Students can work with each other via notes and comments. It really is a great tool. Also, Panopto is able to bridge the gap between online courses and broadcast courses. Students feel more part of a class as they can see and hear what the instructor is actually saying and doing, rather than just reading a syllabus or reading text and open up a PDF or something like that. They can actually see the instructor with their screencast or via PowerPoint and actually know what they're doing as they're doing it. Another key feature, and really where Panopto shines the most, is that their lectures are reviewable at any time, but they're also searchable, and all the metadata is customizable. Students have the opportunity to make these videos really as rich as they like. If they really take good notes in the videos and add good bookmarks, it really is a tremendous study tool for later. And the instructor can even facilitate that even better if they take the time to put in this metadata even before the videos are broadcast. But then again, they can add these notes and things really at any time. There's no limit on when these videos can be updated. Panopto is also a really good tool because it's flexible in the sense that really any classroom scenario can work. Whether these courses are blended or whether these courses are, sometimes the instructor may be teaching an online class and a face-to-face class. They can record all their lectures for their face-to-face class and post those lectures online just as an added tool for the online students. And they can record lectures from home. If they are broadcasting to multiple locations throughout the state, they can record really video from all these different places and mash them up into one recording session so all the students can get a perspective of what the other students at the other locations are doing. Really, there's not a limit to what you can record as long as you can get it into a computer. Some of the more technological classrooms up at USU have these digital smart boards and things, and all those can feed into Panopto and be different video sources that students can review after the fact. None of that information has to be lost. Another benefit is just the automated recording and distribution that's available through Panopto. Instructors can schedule recordings to happen every Tuesday and Wednesday at a certain time, so no thought has to go into setting up the recording every class. They just go in, start teaching, and the recording's happening, and it's in Canvas or it's distributed right away. And as far as distribution goes, apart from Canvas, these recordings can be distributed via RSS feeds or through iTunes, through the podcast subscription model. So it's very easy to get these in the hands of the students in a timely manner when they're ready to go. Because all these recordings are editable, really in every way, Panopto has longevity and reuse in the sense that instructors, if they take the time to make very, very good recordings and very in-depth recordings, especially for their online students, and get that metadata in there, they don't have to do that every term. They can reuse these videos. As we saw, you can add content later, you can edit slides even after the fact, you can even merge different Panopto recordings together. So even if content does become out of date or needs changing, instructors can add that after the fact. They don't need to have the weight of creating these in-depth lectures every term. They can do them once and then basically just alter them and modify them every year, much like they would a standard course. So that's it, I guess, on Panopto. I hope you learned a lot about what this platform is capable of doing from the student side as well as the instructor side. You can always find out more at panopto.com. They have plenty of forums and documentation and frequently asked questions and things like that to help you get more familiar. And in your next class, if they use Panopto, or if the instructor's wondering whether they should use Panopto, I would encourage them to do so. It's great for note-taking and just for the ease of use, as hopefully you've seen in this tutorial.